Cochique dans les prés, fleurissent, fleurissent, cochique dans les prés, c'est la fin de...
Nicolas Jeunesse is a composer, arranger, producer and trumpet player, born in France. His father, a known painter whose works draped art galleries in France. His mother, a humble secretary he describes as focused and caring. But apart from the artistic link between father and son, there seemed to be little else little Nicolas shared with his daddy. In his words, "My mother is the pillar of my success."
I'm always involved in a lot of projects in mixing different kind of musics. Of course, the one who influenced me the most in jazz music is Miles Davis. The biggest influence on the trumpet and on the music. Not only on the trumpet, but on the music, on the spirit of music, on the humanity of music. And the other one in classical music is Johann Sebastian Bach. My biggest influence in, I should say, music, Bach. His way of composing, his way of putting lines together that makes some kind of harmony, very, very innovative for the time, very, I could say, very, very new, quite new, and still brand new. You know, when you're listening to his music, sometimes you say, man, how could he do that 200, 300 years ago? It's just incredible.
In Paris, I was working with Les Petites Mains Symphoniques, a children's symphonic orchestra. I wrote some strings arrangement for a song on my new album. That was such a great experience. We recorded it and then we made the video clip.
My mother always tried to do the best for us to have food and to have everything at home. We were living like rich people, even if we didn't have a lot of money, because of my mother. She's a great woman, and so we never needed nothing, but we never asked for nothing at the same time. So that was okay. When I was very, very young, you know, maybe around 10 or I don't know, 10 or 12, I wanted to play the trumpet.
And at age 10, he went to music school where he got access to his first trumpet on loan. In his early years, he got a few friends together and formed a band, which was more fun than music.
I was playing the harmonica blues. I think I played that for 2 years, and then as I was really improving well with the harmonica, I was playing with a lot of musicians around in my neighborhoods, my little town. And so I decided, because I had no fear, I said, okay, now I'm playing well, so I'm gonna ask the guitar player of my country to play, if he wants to play with me, if I can play with him. So I called him. He said, "Okay, you can come to my place." So I went to his place, and he was a very smart and very nice person. And he told me, "Okay, you want to play harmonica? Well, okay, what do you want to do?" I said, "I don't know. I like to play harmonica, and I like to play with you because you're a great jazz and guitar player. So if we can play a bit together, it'd be okay for me." And he said, "Okay, let's try." And I took my harmonica, and it began to do a lot of tricky chords on the guitar, and I didn't understand nothing. So he was doing, I was okay, waiting, and then it began. So I went on the harmonica, and so he made a lot of traps. And I said, "Oops, what's happening?" And he was always looking at me and said, after we played together, he said, "Okay, you got ears, you got a lot of things to express, but I think I heard you were trying to say things with harmonica that you couldn't say. So you should choose another instrument." I said, "Okay, I'm going to take the piano. I like the piano." So I began to learn the piano, but I didn't have any piano at home, and we couldn't afford a piano at home. So a friend of mine had a little keyboard, the keyboard for kids, with a small small keyboard. And so I said, "Okay." It was kind of bon tant pis, this real kid thing. I said, "Okay, yeah, give it to me." So I took it home, and I began to practice fingering and all these things. And the sound was horrible, but I enjoyed to play that. When we began to make fools with my friend, we had the little keyboard, we had harmonica, we play on bands and whatever. And so I remember that I had my trumpet in my place. And so this is the path to the trumpet.
Realizing that one cannot read without knowing the alphabet, he later returned to music school. His desire to understand other cultures and styles led him to many other forms, including Indian rags and jazz. This knowledge helped him to merge styles, which propelled his genius.
John Clayton, for instance, is a very famous bass player. I met him when I was very young. When John Clayton began to speak with me about jazz musicians, I could name a lot of jazz guitar players, a lot of drummers. I knew almost everybody in jazz, so he was very impressed and said, "Man, how do you know all these people?" I said, I love jazz. For me, it's one of my big influences and my big, I could say that, support in jazz, in his way of looking at life, his way of looking at sharing music, sharing things, sharing love. It was just something incredible for me.
But with all the successes and achievements, Nicholas held one thing closest to his heart, and that is the well-being of his fellow man. He gives free workshops to other musicians. The way a child chooses his or her instrument can be quite amusing.
Thinking about French fries and French food, it's made me so interested in food all the time. So I make it more.
In 2014, touched by the plight of the abandoned street children in Accra, he offered them a chance to share the stage with him, on a performance sponsored by Alliance Francaise.
I was in contact with the Alliance Francaise, and I told them that I would like to do this kind of project, and they told me, okay, we can manage to find children to do the project with you. So they found different schools, one French school, French and English school, and one English school, and two street children's school. And so we did the project with all these kids together. And it was really, really good fun.
Long, 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 long,
whenever we have this kind of project that really are very meaningful, they very often rely on people like you who have this capacity to look beyond, to see beyond your art, but you want to share it, and you want to enable young people to start dreaming about doing the same thing as you do. You organize a project such as the one you have implemented. Basically, you bridge the gap between both, if there should be a gap, because I think the cultural and the educational are very closely integrated notions. And this is by involving students from schools and various, I should call them maybe associations or projects, that involve orphans or children from the street, etc., like this association in Jamestown. You actually enable these kids to get involved in something more artistic, with a more artistic dimension, or a more cultural dimension.
Pendant 2 semaines, on était toujours ensemble et tout à coup, on allait plus jamais se revoir. J'avais envie de pleurer quand ça s'est fini. Et alors, je me suis sentie vraiment bien quand j'étais sur la scène, mais en même temps un petit peu anxieuse de ce qui allait se passer. Mais ce qui m'a beaucoup aidée, c'est que je ne pouvais pas vraiment voir toute la foule parce que des lumières. Alors ça m'a redonné courage et je me suis laissée emporter et voilà. J'ai tout aimé du moment où ça a commencé et du moment où ça a terminé. Ce que j'ai beaucoup aimé, c'est qu'on était tous en groupe. Même si on est de différents pays, on était encore là, ensemble. Même si on avait des différentes couleurs, on était ensemble. Même si nos parents n'étaient pas là, on était ensemble et on faisait un groupe et j'ai bien aimé le groupe.
What I'm trying to do, just do the same thing that people did with me. Just open new horizons for other people and give them opportunity and to maybe to find themselves, to find something else in their minds, in their life, I don't know. It's just like putting a seed in the ground and let it grow.
Colchique dans les prés, fleurissent, fleurissent, colchique dans les prés, c'est la fin de l'été. La feuille d'automne, emportée par le vent, en ronde monotone, tombe en tourbillonnement. La feuille d'automne, châtaigne dans les bois, se fondent, châtaigne dans les bois.
At the end of the show, the kids had to go. So when I finished to play the concert with the musicians, I just felt very weird because the kids were not there. So I said, oh man, they left and we didn't have time to say goodbye. I would have liked to see them. And I said, okay, as we recorded and as we made a lot of footages for the whole project, I said, okay, let's go to the schools to see the kids again, and then so I can show them the footages we had on the concert. And so they looked at the concert and I saw them really happy and they were singing the song at the same time and they were still in the music.
As the curtains fall and the show finally came to a successful end, the question in their little minds is, what now? A question many adults may well ask, but whether or not any of the children pursue a career on stage, it is an experience they will forever remember, and this is solely due to the kindness of one man, extended to the less fortunate.
Honestly, I was very, very impressed because I wasn't expecting them to deliver the way they did. This was an awesome project, and I hope it happens again sometime soon. I learned a lot, as always, and I grew, and it was good fun with the kids, especially.
Linda, solo. Madame aussi. Ma maman aussi. Linda, solo. Madame aussi. Ma maman aussi. Hey, hey. Solo. Luisa, solo qua tu l'ombele. Luisa qua tu l'ombele. Solo qua tu l'ombele. Luisa qua tu l'ombele. Solo qua tu l'ombele. Luisa qua tu l'ombele. Solo qua tu l'ombele. Luisa qua tu l'ombele.
Music is life. How can we live without music? I can't. We can't live without music.